Ever since the wet spring, variation has been seen all across Ohio cornfields. Bill Mullen is the Director of Agronomic Services with Seed Consultants, and he shows you exactly what that variation looks like in the field.
Today we're out here just looking at some corn, trying to go back and see how, the harder growing conditions when we had all that cool wet weather after planting time, what happened with the roots and that. Some of the disease are out here affected the plant, and some of these different conditions here of how it really has hurt the ear, it's going to hurt our yield, or it hasn't. I think we got two nice samples here to talk about. First one here is that we're looking at this hybrid. It has some height with it, okay? Look down here though is that you see the compaction, that it's really a layered compaction in here, and really, not getting the good roots to go down in that. We have roots forming around, but they're all here at the top 2-3 inches in that. All the rains we had afterwards kept this plant growing in that, okay? So really, we have an issue in here with the roots in that. The plant has got some disease out here. One thing is that, starting to see a lot of this in our cornfields, okay? I've seen this several years ago, and I've seen it, normally it starts at the top, work its way down. This is anthracnose leaf blight. Just like what northern corn leaf blight will do, or severe gray, it's basically deteriorate the leaf surface. At this point, it's going to hurt the yield as far as for the ear, but as much as there's a lot of spores on here, and there's a good chance we're going to see a lot of anthracnose stalk rot on this hybrid here because of what we're seeing. In the field I was in here, there's a lot of this leaf discoloration there with this anthracnose leaf blight. As you go farther up the plant, we still see some, there's some northern in here and that. It's not too bad on her leaves and that. Didn't see much gray. One thing I want to point out is, see a lot of this purpling. All right? A lot of this purpling is what I've termed over the years is accumulation of sugar. The sugar wasn't able to metabolize itself out throughout the plant, so it's staying in the stalk there, okay? It's nothing really to be real severe. We see it in the springtime. We'll see it here at the end of the year, but as long as we keep these plants healthy and that, they should be able to go ahead and help finish out that ear now. So, but the other thing is that this just broke off. And I really, with this field here, I'm a little bit concerned about, the breakage of the stalk. It's below the ear, so it goes over, we're going to have an issue at harvest time in that. So, but right now, with what we had right after planting time, it's really affected the plant. And I pulled this ear off, and we randomly pulled it off here, and you could see all the cross-pollination that went on, okay? I haven't talked to the farmer to find out if there is somebody that maybe planted like Indian corn, non-GMO corn, where the pollen must have just strayed. We're in a bottom field, so if it is at a top field, a little more likely we would have some of this cross-pollination. I went ahead, I counted the number of rows here, and we have 14 round. And I had about 22, 24 kernels per row in that. It's not bad in that, but what I'm trying to say though is that in comparison to this other one, all the water issues we had and all the stresses in that, we're not really getting the potential there for the number of rows established, as well as getting the number of kernels per row in that. This hybrid here, this plant here, came out of the same row, about 150 feet down there, okay? And it's in an area where it's a lot different than the first plant. It didn't have as much water laying around there. We still got compaction, a little bit of nitrogen deficiency here and that, but still, you're seeing how it impacted the roots in that. Good nodal root development in that. It's going all the way around the plant. The roots are going down. This one here is a lot healthier plant. As you look here, as far as the stalk formation, it's very good. It's got a good stalk quality to it. Still healthy. It's green. Try to set a second ear here, but it's healthy all the way up. And this is the same hybrid, just a little bit farther down the row. As you could see with the other plant, we don't see any of that purpling up here, above the ears. We have a lot of good leaves. Not much. Still a little bit of northern, a little gray, but nothing really where it's going to affect that ear. Now, here's the ear that came off that plant that I was just describing to you, okay? As you can see, this ear is it's a girthy type ear. This ear here, we have 16 round with 42 kernels per row. Compared to the other one, which was a 14 and a 24, we're just showing there's a lot more yield here, okay? And this one here too, it's really showing that we missed them maybe a little bit out as far as the true top end yield, but it's still filled out really nice in that. It's got some test weight to it. You can see we still have a little bit of the purple kernels here in the ear, but not to the degree the other one did. So this is a lot healthier ear. It's a lot healthier plant. So the big thing about it is that with all the water issues we've had after planting time, all right, we had a lot of nitrogen deficiency, okay, with the compaction. These are three big factors that are going to affect our yield out there come this fall now. Another thing to consider is that on this first plant here, the stalk quality is starting to deteriorate, all right? Stalk rots are going to be an issue come this fall in that, especially looking where some of those stresses early on affected the plant health, also affected the ear, like I pointed out before. One thing we need to keep in mind is, come harvest time, as much variability is out there in the fields, all right? And there's still ears out there. They're harvestable ears. Big thing I want to make everybody aware of is the stalk quality. You know, indications right now, we're going to have some issues with stalk rots out there. When we have the stalk rots, if we don't get it in time, the plants are going to go down, the ears are going to fall to the ground, could have some moldy ear later on. But the bottom line is we're not getting those ears through the machine and back into the bin and dry down so we could sell later on in that. So I think really this year, and I know for what the price of corn is, gas, it's going to pay for you to take that corn off a little bit early. And what I'm saying is somewhere between that 24, 28, 29% moisture, we should be in the field, in those fields where we have issues out there with stalk rots, as well as where we've had these stress type conditions in that. The plants are deteriorating right now in these fields. Yes, plants like this, this ear here coming off this plant, yeah, they're going to make it. But for the most part, we have a lot more of that variability out there that we have to be concerned about come harvest time.